All right, here you go. The first images of Narendra Modi and President Barack Obama. Let's try and listen in.
And the United States, including an incredible Indian American population that contributes so much, that we have so much in common. It is critical for us to continue to deepen and broaden the existing framework of partnership and friendship that already exists. Last night, during a private dinner, we spent most of our time talking about the economy. And we agreed that in both countries, one of our primary goals is to improve education and job training so that our young people can compete in the global marketplace. And the Prime Minister shared with me his vision for lifting what is still too many Indians who are locked in poverty into the situation in which they're locked in. We also today spent time talking about the international situation and security issues. We addressed challenges in the Middle East and violent extremism and fighting ISIL. We discussed what has now been a successful peaceful transition of power in Afghanistan and the need for all of us to work together to ensure that there's stability there. We discussed issues of trade, issues of making sure that maritime rules are observed, and we discussed how we can continue to work together on a whole host of issues from space exploration, scientific endeavor, to dealing with humanitarian crises like Ebola in West Africa. And throughout this conversation, I've been impressed with the Prime Minister's interest in not only addressing the needs of the poorest of the poor in India and revitalizing the economy there, but also his determination to make sure that India is serving as a major power that can help bring about peace and security to the entire world. So I want to wish him luck in what I'm sure will be a challenging but always interesting tenure as Prime Minister in India. I'm very grateful for the friendship between the United States and India, and I'm looking forward to building on this meeting so we can continue to promote progress in both countries and around the world. So thank you very much.
प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा और मीडिया के सभी सदस्यों, सबसे पहले प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा के निमंत्रण और उनके गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत और आदर सत्कार के लिए उनका आभार प्रकट करना चाहता हूं। पदभार ग्रहण करने के कुछ ही महीनों के अंदर अमेरिका आकर प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा से मिलकर मुझे अत्यंत प्रसन्नता हुई है।
President Obama, members of the media, first I want to thank President Obama for his invitation and his warm and generous hospitality. I am pleased to visit USA and meet President Obama at the start of my tenure.
यह खुशी की बात है कि दोनों देशों के मिशनों के मार्स पहुंचने के कुछ ही दिनों के भीतर हम आज यहां मिले। भारत और अमेरिका के बीच मार्च पर समिट के बाद अब यह समिट धरती पर हो रहा है। यह शुभ संयोग हमारे हिंद संबंधों की क्षमता का प्रतिबिंब है।
I am happy that we are meeting here just few days after the Indian and the US missions reached Mars around the same time. So after the India-US summit on Mars, we are meeting here on Earth. This happy coincidence captures the potential of our relationship.
इस यात्रा के दौरान खासकर प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा से हुई बातचीत से मेरा विश्वास और दृढ़ हो गया है कि भारत और अमेरिका के बीच वैश्विक पार्टनरशिप होना स्वाभाविक है, जो हमारे जुड़े हुए मूल्यों, हितों और डिजिटल एज में हमारी क्षमताओं पर आधारित है।
This visit, especially my conversation with President Obama, has reinforced my conviction that India and the United States are natural global partners based on our shared values, interests, and strengths in the digital age. We already have the foundation of a strong partnership. We now have to revive the momentum and ensure that we get the best out of it for our people and for the world.
प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा और मैंने अपनी सहज आर्थिक प्राथमिकता के बारे में विस्तार से चर्चा की। मेरा विश्वास है कि निकट भविष्य में भारत एक बड़े पैमाने पर आर्थिक विकास और परिवर्तन की ओर आगे बढ़ेगा। भारत में हम पॉलिसी और प्रोसेस दोनों को बदलने पर बल दे रहे हैं, जिससे भारत के साथ बिजनेस करना सहज और लाभदायक होगा। भारत में आर्थिक अवसर तेजी से बढ़ रहे हैं। मुझे विश्वास है कि भारत अमेरिका के आर्थिक संबंधों में तीव्र गति से विस्तार होगा।
President Nai spoke about many of our common economic priorities. I'm confident that India will see rapid economic growth and transformation. We are focusing in India on not just on policies but also on processes to make it easy and productive to do business in India. I believe that India-US economic partnership will also grow rapidly in coming years.
मैंने प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा से आग्रह किया है कि वह ऐसे कदम उठाएं जिससे भारत की सर्विस कंपनियां यूएस की मार्केट को आसानी से एक्सेस कर सकें।
I also sought President Obama's support for continued openness and ease of access for Indian service companies in the US market.
हम दोनों सिविल न्यूक्लियर कोऑपरेशन को आगे बढ़ाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं और इससे जुड़े मुद्दों को जल्दी सुलझाने के प्रति गंभीर है। यह भारत की एनर्जी सिक्योरिटी के लिए बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है।
We are serious about resolution of issues on both sides to enable civil nuclear energy cooperation to take off. It is important for India's energy security.
WTO के मुद्दों पर हमारी बड़ी खुलकर के बातचीत हुई। भारत ट्रेड फैसिलिटेशन का समर्थन करता है, परंतु मेरी यह भी अपेक्षा है कि ऐसा समाधान निकले जो हमारी फूड सिक्योरिटी की चिंताओं को भी दूर करे। मेरा विश्वास है कि यह जल्दी से किया जा सकेगा।
We had a candid discussion on Bali Ministerial of the WTO. India supports trade facilitation. However, I also expect that we are able to find a solution that takes care of our concern on food security. I believe that it should be possible to do that soon.
क्लाइमेट चेंज हम दोनों के लिए प्राथमिकता का विषय है। हमने तय किया है कि इस विषय पर आपसी संवाद व सहयोग हम बढ़ाएंगे।
We have agreed to consult and cooperate closely on climate change issues, an area of strong priority for both of us.
अंतर्राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर उभर रही चुनौतियों को लेकर भी दोनों देशों के विचारों में समानता है। इसमें एशिया पैसिफिक क्षेत्र में शांति तथा स्थिरता शामिल है। अमेरिका हमारी लुक ईस्ट एंड लिंक वेस्ट पॉलिसी का अभिन्न अंग है।
There was great convergence on international developments that matter the most to our two countries, including peace and stability in Asia-Pacific region. The United States is intrinsic to our Look East and Link West policies.
दक्षिण एशिया सहित पश्चिम एशिया और अन्य क्षेत्रों में पनप रहे आतंकवाद की चुनौतियों पर हमने विस्तार से विचार विमर्श किया। हमने काउंटर टेररिज्म और इंटेलिजेंस में पारस्परिक सहयोग बढ़ाने पर सहमति व्यक्त की।
We discussed existing terrorism challenges, including in South Asia, and the new threats of terrorism in West Asia and beyond. We agreed to intensify our counter-terrorism and intelligence cooperation.
अफगानिस्तान के लोगों ने हिंसा और आतंकवाद पर विजय पाने के अपने संकल्प का प्रदर्शन किया है। हम दोनों ने अफगानिस्तान को सहायता देते रहने की हमारी प्रतिबद्धता और इस क्षेत्र में अधिक कोऑर्डिनेशन की आवश्यकता पर भी चर्चा की।
The Afghan people have shown the will to prevail over violence and extremism. We discussed our two countries' continued commitment to assist Afghanistan and our own coordination in this area.
अफ्रीका में इबोला क्राइसिस को लेकर दोनों पक्षों में गहरी चिंता है। भारत ने इस क्राइसिस से निपटने और अन्य सहायता के लिए $10 मिलियन की मदद देने का कमिटमेंट किया है।
We have shared concern on the Ebola crisis in Africa, for which India has already made financial commitments of $12 million.
हमारे साझा हितों को ध्यान में रखकर हम अपने सिक्योरिटी डायलॉग और डिफेंस रिलेशंस को और आगे बढ़ाएंगे। मैं यूएस डिफेंस कंपनीज को विशेषकर भारत की डिफेंस मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैपेसिटीज के विकास में भाग लेने के लिए आमंत्रित करता हूं।
Given our broad range of shared interests, we will also continue to deepen our security dialogue and defense relations. I want to especially welcome the US defense companies to participate in developing the Indian defense industry.
पिछले 4 दिनों में मैंने भारत अमेरिकी पार्टनरशिप के प्रति अमेरिका में अपार रुचि और उत्साह देखा। वह हमारे पारंपरिक संबंधों से जुड़ी उनकी आशाओं और उत्साह का प्रमाण है और यही हमारी शक्ति और प्रेरणा होगी। इन संबंधों को नई ऊर्जा और दृढ़ता के साथ एक नए स्तर पर हम ले जाने में सफल होंगे।
During the last 4 days in the US, I have seen extraordinary interest and excitement about India and India-US partnership among the people of our two countries. We will draw strength and inspiration from it as we start a more purposeful course in our ongoing journey.
मैंने प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा तथा उनके परिवार को भारत आने का निमंत्रण दिया है।
I look forward to receiving President Obama and his family in India at a convenient time.
मैं प्रेसिडेंट ओबामा को, अमेरिका की जनता को और विशेषकर अमेरिका में बसे भारतीय समुदाय के लोगों को उनकी गर्मजोशी तथा भव्य सत्कार के लिए धन्यवाद देता हूं।
I once again thank President Obama, people of the United States, and especially the Indian American community for their warm welcome and hospitality.
और इंडिया के और अमेरिका के मीडिया का मुझे बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
And also wish to thank the media from India and the US.
Mr. President, thank you. Thank you. We have to load the motorcade, so thank you for. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more time. Sir, come on. Let's go. Take her back. Take her back.
All right, the joint statement is out. Narendra Modi has spoken, listing some of the key parts of the results of that engagement, those bilateral discussions between President Obama and Prime Minister Modi. They have agreed to intensify counter-terrorism and intelligence cooperation, a lot of agreements on infrastructure, investment and trade, both committed to helping Afghanistan and improving coordination in that area. An open discussion on the World Trade Organization issue, where Prime Minister Modi said that India supports trade facilitation, but a solution that takes care of food security needs to be found. So India has stood its ground on the food security issue. It has also, very crucially and very importantly, the statement says we are serious about resolution of issues on both sides to enable the stalled civil nuclear energy cooperation pact to actually take off and start delivering. Let's go straight across to our editor, Strategic Affairs, Gaurav Sawant, live from Washington D.C. Gaurav, it's obviously a much more detailed joint statement. The key points listed out by Prime Minister Modi just now.
And very substantive dialogue between India and the United States of America, longer than what was expected, and that goes on to indicate the kind of detail both the sides went into. And there were some real hard-nosed negotiations from what sources are telling us. This wasn't just restricted to pleasantries and niceties. Both traditional friends rebooting relations. They know it's very important for the two countries to cooperate to take this relationship to the next level. At the same time, both protecting their national interests and cooperating on international issues. If I could flag the issue, that you and I, the beat that you and I cover very closely.
Yes.
Terror, counter-terror, Afghanistan, that has been a core area of cooperation. Especially, we'll also talk about ISIS. Now, that is some place where the United States wants India's cooperation. In fact, from what my sources tell me, it's not just restricted to the United States and India. It's Israel, United States and India in terms of intelligence sharing, in terms of de-radicalization of youth who may be drawn towards the ISIS. That is something that is very critical. You may be able to stop them, you may be able to kill a few, but you need to kill that thought that terrorists support, that it's good to support the ISIL. That is something where India, Israel, the United States and Europe would be cooperating very extensively.
Yes.
Stabilizing Afghanistan. Just today, that news, as you have well read, Shiv, 9,800 American troops will continue to stay in Afghanistan to stabilize Afghanistan so that it doesn't descend into chaos like Iraq.
And, you know, Gaurav, just stay with me for a moment. I want to get in a quick bit of perspective from Veena Sikri, senior diplomat, who's with us here to get an expert view on this. Ms. Sikri has been on visits of this kind. She's been part of teams who've drafted statements of this kind and agreements between nations. Ms. Sikri, your first big takeaways from that statement. Does it meet the expectations that you had?
I think it's a very detailed statement. I think that's the first important point.
Yeah.
And the second important point is that both India and the US have not hesitated to state their concerns right up front.
Yeah.
Now, I think that's a very good thing because it means that both sides are willing to work hard at the relationship. They've stated the issues,
yes,
and they've said what they're going to work on.
And those include the Civil Nuclear
That
Pact,
includes the
WTO.
Civil, yes,
yes.
It includes the Civil Nuclear Pact, it includes WTO, it includes climate change, it includes terror and counter-terror,
yes,
and it includes Afghanistan, it includes Asia Pacific. I mean,
yes,
I think this is something very important. Prime Minister Modi's vision of look east and link west.
Yes, yes.
So this coordination of both, I think that's a very important point. Africa, you know, contribution to the Ebola crisis in Africa.
Yes.
And the shared interest. I think the important point is that what has come out very strongly is the shared interest, the common values,
yes,
and building on complementarities, you know, your capacities of each side.
Yes.
Now, obviously, the Defence Pact, now there's also going to be a continuation of the Defence Pact, a Defence Technology Pact. So that is America ready to transfer some technology to India,
yes,
for climate change?
So it's not just about selling weapons.
It's not
yes,
just about selling weapons, it's about defense technology. That's
yes,
an important point for India. And this pact, I'm sure, let us see when it comes out what it has. Again, on climate change, India wants help in transfer of technology, in adaptation and mitigation strategies to meet
yes,
the challenge of climate change. Unless we get those technologies, you know, you can't just talk about the developing countries
right,
doing it.
Right.
We're talking about CBDR, common but differentiated responsibilities that Prime Minister Modi has himself mentioned in Madison Square Garden. Right. So I think that the important point is that in this visit, I think America has realized not only Prime Minister Modi's great, immense popularity among the Indian American community,
yes,
the Indian American community itself has emerged as a very important role to play in America.
And they've been so visible as well.
They've been
yes,
very visible. They've been able to have, you know, 40 lawmakers, American congressmen,
right,
others there. So I think it's been a great recognition for America as well. And they've realized that in Prime Minister Modi, you have a stable partner, he has a strong majority in parliament, and he has 5 years, and I think we can really look forward to working on it.
All right,
I think the decisions about America has announced about the Lashkar-e-Taiba and the...
we're going to get more details of that in just a minute. I want to take you live once again to Rajdeep Sardesai, live with us from right outside the White House at Washington D.C. Rajdeep, the statement read out, much more details yet to come out of what the two leaders have agreed on, but counter-terrorism, the civil nuclear agreement, trade and investment, and several other issues taken up between both sides.
A jihad is a holy war, and the weapons of our warfare are...
Well, I think the first thing one can say is a wide range of issues were taken up. I mean, India is even committed to the fight against Ebola. India is looking at issues of energy security, of Afghanistan. It is a wide-ranging statement. That's the best way to put it at the moment. A variety of issues from terror to Ebola being raised in that. I have Professor Nuruddin still with us. Your sense from that statement, does it give you hope? Or is this simply a broad statement of intent?
It's a broad statement of intent, but with some definite hopeful specifics. For instance, the United States is going to be invited to be a partner, a knowledge partner in the National Defense University. They're going to be the lead partner in developing smart cities in Allahabad, Ajmer and Vizag. But also you see the problem points still coming up. Prime Minister Modi was unequivocal in saying that solutions to food security concerns in India were crucial for trade facilitation talks to deepen. So I see this as a statement of intent. There's a lot to be optimistic about, but still, realism and realistic expectations are crucial as we move forward.
But on a substantive basis, something that you see as a breakthrough, something that you see will be the big talking point, the big headline come tomorrow morning?
Well, I mean, so some of the thing that's coming just breaking is possibly that the United States is announcing sanctions against some of the Pakistani leaders of Lashkar-e-Taiba, of Hizbullah, Lakshmar. So if that's true, it would signal very much that the United States is taking more seriously India's concerns about Pakistan. On the flip side, India is showing that it's willing to play a role on the world stage in Ebola, in West Asia, in Afghanistan, as has been talked about. Those should be the things that I think we take great optimism from moving forward. On the economy, no. There is nothing in the statement in this joint press conference that is really a big step forward. There is no reason for U.S. business to be running into India on the basis of what has been said today. But that was not to be expected in the first place. What we should expect, hopefully, is that the groundwork has been laid for much more substantive negotiations at the ministerial level.